This is Thelonious Monk, the coolest jazz artist of all time. Throughout the history of jazz, there have been many greats, many stoic giants who play with incredible agility, piano players that wow crowds with their technical ability and their charm. There are very few, however, who can accomplish all of that and more. In terms of swagger, Thelonious Monk was in a league of his own. He was original in a time when jazz was, in my opinion, relatively static. In terms of sound. With his weird dissonant harmonies and his unique usage of rhythm, he quickly became the name we know today as the High Priest of Bop. Let's start from the beginning. Thelonious Sphere Monk was born in North Carolina on October 10, 1917. He didn't stay here long, though, and moved to New York City at the age of 4 with his family. He started playing piano at the age of 6 and impressively taught himself to read music without any formal training. He started piano lessons a couple years after and quickly became infatuated with jazz music. He dropped out of high school to pursue music further, but didn't find a huge amount of success until the 1940s, when he became the house pianist at a club in New York, which happened to be where a couple small-time musicians came from, Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. Fun fact, he was one of the key players in creating bebop, which makes sense because his signature style is very intellectual, fast-paced improvisation. Speaking of his playing style, it was pretty abnormal at the time. People were used to a certain type of jazz music, and Monk came around and stirred up the whole scene. His style was very percussive and, like I mentioned earlier, used dissonance in a new, interesting way. Now's time for our second fun fact. While he might not be the most famous jazz composer, he is the second most recorded jazz composer of all time. He's only second to Duke Ellington, with pieces such as Round Midnight, Blue Monk, Straight, No Chaser, and Epistrophe. Now, back to his career. The 40s were pretty big for Thelonious Monk, but the 50s brought him to complete stardom, leading him to 1957, where Monk performed with a quartet that included John Coltrane. It was only up after that, and he signed to Columbia Records in 1962 and was later featured on the cover of Time magazine. He rode out his high acclaim, retiring in the 70s and retreating from the spotlight, enjoying his final years until 1982, which was the year that he very sadly passed away. He was awarded with a Pulitzer Prize special citation for his contributions to American music. Even in his short career, Thelonious Monk was a huge force in bebop and jazz in general. He will be remembered